The secret for all engineering students to succeed and get their first job easily is... Hey guys, what's going on? It's Mike from Formwin. I'm here to help you guys get your first engineering job. Today, we're going to be talking about a 4 step-by-step process on how to operate as a student and get from point A to point B. Listen, I know that there's a lot of struggles that we engineering students have gone through, lots of ups and downs, lots of uncertainty, but I'm here to help make it clear, operate, and develop a strategic game plan for you guys. So listen, take notes, grab a pen and paper. If you don't have it, go back, grab a pen and paper, and get ready for action. Let's do this. And before we continue, guys, listen, comment down any questions you have below. Reach out to me if you need anything. My number is 305-923-8724. Again, 305-923-8724. Contact me, ask me any questions, I'll be happy to help you out. So let's go ahead and get started with step number 1. Step number 1 is specifically targeted for freshmen, sophomore, transfer students. If you have 3+ years left, kind of a lengthy time left, or if you're new to taking action. Finding your why is critical because that's going to drive you to talk about and take action with everything else we have to do. There's specific tasks we have here, but before we get into that, I want to ask you why you want to be an engineer. What made you get up in the morning and decide you want to do this? If you wake up in the morning and you're not excited about doing this, or you're not passionate, or you're struggling with that, that's something I focus on with a lot of my clients. But for you, you really need to identify that, figure that out, because that's going to make life so much easier. In life, you want to really drive and strive to wake up in the morning happy, find time to be grateful, and that's super important for this. So finding your why is going to let you fuel everything else. It might be simple for you. Maybe you just want to make money, maybe you want to just get a cool job, work at a cool company. Perfect. Whatever it is, write that down. Your why equals, write it down. All right, now for specific tasks, you're going to meet with your teacher, dean, colleague, head of the school, alumni, anything. The purpose of this is for you to get face-to-face interactions with why people are successful in their career, or how they got from point A to point B, or get new insight. That's going to help you figure out what your why is if you don't already know. But even if you do, you want to meet with them so you can grow your network, but also get some new insights and kind of put together a nice magical puzzle. Next is get active on LinkedIn. This is something crazy important. If you're not active on LinkedIn, there's so many students that are not active on LinkedIn. Get active on LinkedIn. This can be as simple as sending some messages, liking some posts, finding some engineers that you like and following them, supporting some of their stuff. You name it, just get on LinkedIn, start posting, update your school, update any jobs you've had, start drafting a little bit, right? I don't want you to go crazy yet because we're still figuring out exactly why you want to be an engineer and what's going to fuel you to really work hard, but you need to get active, get on there, and you never know what's going to happen. Next is draft a portfolio. So as a freshman and sophomore, you're either typically in clubs or you're going to be in some classes, but nothing with crazy amounts of projects. Maybe you are, and that's the reason for this. I wish I started a portfolio super early because I didn't. I waited until my senior year. Fortunately, I kept track of everything. I had a nice folder, I had everything organized. But for you as a freshman or sophomore, the best time to write something down, put it in your portfolio, is when you're first doing it. So when you're doing this and you're really building together your portfolio, you'll be able to really extract every ounce of goodness from it, because as a freshman and sophomore, when you're first starting, or as you're doing any project, you need to write down everything you learned from it, everything you did, take photos, videos, save the files, a CAD file, post it on your LinkedIn, right? Get active on LinkedIn, and then that can go right into your portfolio, and by the end of your senior year, or the time for a job interview, you have a massive, awesome plan that 99% of the people don't have, but you do because you're in the top 1%. Next is join one club. Now this is also critical. Try to find a lot of clubs, okay? There's AIAA, ASME, there's so many clubs for you to join. Try them all out, see what projects you may or may not like. This is also figuring out what your why is, right? But find one club at the end of it. Once you have your why, if you don't know which project you want to work on or what exactly, still pick one. Just pick one, even if you like it or not. If there's 10 projects and you don't like any of them, pick one that's the best option, right? Or if you like one, pick it, then you're going to really work hard on developing throughout that club. And it's super important to do this early because that gives you time to operate and grow as a leader in that club. Once you're a leader in that club, the rest is going to be history. Next is going to be to work out. This is something super, super important. I'm going to stress this in absolutely every video, every conversation I have with anyone. Working out and operating in a place of good health is something that's going to give you so much energy and going to give you an edge over anyone else, and you're going to be able to beat your competition with this. This is something not a lot of people talk about, not a lot of companies talk about. Maybe it's, health and balance, but no, we need to work hard and really strive to be in the best physical shape ever. That's what I'm working on right now. You guys are going to see an awesome transformation, and this is just something that you need to have in your life. So if you're not working out, that's going to help you find your why as well. All right, in summary for your takeaways here for this first step, it's really just figuring out exactly what you're doing with your life, or at least having some inclination of where you're trying to head. Okay, once we have that, we'll be able to move on to step 2, where we really attack this. All right, step 2. So now this is for your juniors or seniors, or you know your why, but you don't know what steps to take next, and you have a specific goal. Okay, now that we figured out your why, you have a specific goal, we know what we want to do to an extent, right? Now it's time to take action. We need to use your why and let that fuel the actions you take. We have a bunch of specific tasks here that we're going to break down, but now that we have everything taken care of, you have some motivation in the morning, you have a purpose, you have something to fuel this. Now we're ready to go attack and be the 1% and beat the competition and get your first job. For the specific tasks, we have a few things here. Applications, 25 a day. This might seem like overkill, but if you do 25 applications a day, how many other people do you think are doing that? 0. Maybe someone thinks that they applied to a lot of jobs because one day in the month they applied to 200 jobs in one day and they did so awesome and they did great. The quality is going to be really bad of their applications, but that's better than 0 applications throughout the month. But imagine if you did 25 a day. You'll become a master applier. You'll know what every job is looking for. You'll know every little keyword, every little detail. And then at the end of the month, throughout that cycle, then you can really adjust your resume maybe, or whatever the case is. You don't need to adjust your resume for every job application. It's a numbers game. You need to start operating in a place of 25 per day, because that's going to give you more opportunity to get into a position. And 25 per day does not necessarily mean those long workday applications where you have to fill out every field. Maybe do a few of those, that's important, but on LinkedIn or other places there's some quick apply jobs, so maybe do 10 or 12 of those, maybe do 5 long form jobs, or maybe this can also be sending an email with your resume to someone too, because that's technically an application. All right, next is going to be messaging. Now this is specifically targeted for LinkedIn. That's what I thought of when I wrote this, but this can be anything. This can be Instagram, Discord, right? Any school communities, any school groups, messaging. The goal here is to network, talk with people similar to this first step, but here, we're really just kind of establishing our relationship with the school and other colleagues. But here now the purpose is to network. You know what your why is. You tell the people you network with your why, and then maybe you'll be able to connect some dots. But the goal is to build relationships over time. So send 25 messages a day. Maybe that's the 25 new people. Maybe you're hitting the same group of people on the same day each week, right? So 25 per day. Monday you message 25 people, okay? And then next Monday you message the same 25 people. That's a great way to build relationships, because it's gonna go over time, and then when an opportunity comes, then you'll be able to take it, or if they have an opportunity that comes, they might think of you and say, wow, he or she has been really staying in touch with me, building our relationship. And then vice versa, like what if you get a job and then you have an opportunity that you can give them? This is how the world works. Your network is your net worth, and that's it in full extent. All right, next is going to be events. I wish I did this. I'm just starting to do this now, already still early in my career, but super late in this process. 1 event a quarter. If you do 1 event a quarter, that's going to give you a nice reframing. Let's say that's a seminar, that's a conference, some kind of meetup, whatever it is. 1 event a quarter in terms of engineering, that's going to allow you to network with people, remotivate yourself, see what's new in the industry. There's so much you can get out of this beneficial. Your school probably offers free tickets. So there's so much that can happen with this. Take advantage of it, go to 1 a quarter, and that's a good way to operate as a business too, reflecting each quarter, seeing where you can grow. So treat yourself as a business, go to 1 event a quarter, and really figure out your why, let it fuel you, and if you're ever questioning it, that event is, that's what it's for. Next, analyze your school secrets. Every school has a secret. You probably don't know about it. If you knew about it, you probably already applied all this stuff, and you know it, right? But every school has a secret. I promise you, I can help you find yours, but look around, talk with people. Let's say you're doing great in one of the project groups or one of the clubs you joined, and you know someone of a senior level in the class. Like, let's say you're a freshman doing great in a project in a club, and then the senior in that project or club sees you working hard, and they know something that you don't, the secret. Then they talk with you, and then they say, hey, you know what? I have this opportunity for you. Find your school secrets. Maybe it's on the website too. Competition. Now, you picked 1 club, you picked 1 project, right? Now, find a competition. Find a competition to go dominate in. This is going to be specific for if you're really passionate about a project, because if you are, you go to that competition, guess who's there? Recruiters, people to network with, people in the industry. The value is insane. Go to competitions, find people, grow your network, build relationships, and dominate. All right, last one here is going to be 2 calls a week. So 2 calls a week, this could be from any or all of the above. Let's say you meet someone at an event, let's say you message someone, let's say someone wants to call from an application, clubs, the deans, whatever. Get 2 calls a weekend. That can be to either just talk about what you're doing, it's an interview, networking, helping someone else. That's critical. The best way to teach yourself how to be better is to help someone else. So any calls per week, that's going to just give you more opportunity to really develop as a person, but also hopefully get your first job. All right, as a recap, number 1, finding your why. Number 2 is using that why, fueling yourself to taking all of these actions, which are going to be hard to do. And I'm willing to bet maybe you won't be able to do it, but if you can, you're going to win. Step number 3 is be creative, okay? Now, if we've done all this and you still haven't had progress, I'm willing to bet a lot that you have progress already, okay? But if you don't, now you need to be creative. That does not mean stop doing this. You're still in the club, you're still meeting with people, you're still messaging people, you're still doing all this. Do not stop doing this to do this. Now you get a part-time job. Or if you already have a part-time job, optimize it. The goal of a part-time job, and I mean it's super beneficial because if you're doing okay in school, you're doing good, you're doing all this stuff, you're in clubs, you're going to meetups, and you have a part-time job, whenever you go sit down with an interview or go meet with an employer, they're going to see that and say, damn, you handle a lot, right? So if you're handling a lot, then that's going to really prove that you can handle a good job. That's going to put you above a lot of other people that are maybe going to class, trying to do clubs, they go to an interview and it's like, well, I'm trying my best. And you're sitting over here with 12 jobs, 12 clubs, doing all this fancy stuff and going crazy. You're super in it, passionate. You're fueled by your why. You're going to win and get the job over them. But also in a part-time job, that's a great opportunity to network with people coming in, because if you network with someone, then you might be able to find a mentor or anything else. Next step is going to be to reverse engineer. Out of the people you met, out of the people you talked to, out of the events you went to, everything, reverse engineer how someone you idolize or you look up to got to where they got to. Look back throughout their career, everything that they said, you should have been taking notes throughout everything here, and then just really backstep for how they got from point A to point B and start applying some of those steps. Next one is pay for speed. This is super important too. You can bypass all this by hiring a coach, by paying for one of the conference tickets, or anything else, right? Maybe you buy an Arduino kit, or maybe you just buy something to really help you learn, or just anything. Pay for speed is going to help because that's paying for speed. The more speed you have, the more momentum you're going to build, and you might be able to even get an awesome internship as a freshman. All right, as a recap, why, action, be creative. Last step is step number 4, repeat steps 1 through 3. This is an endless cycle of awesomeness. You need to take all 4 of these steps, all 3, and repeat them throughout your entire life. So maybe you do that at each event, right? That's a great way to game plan. You figure out what your why is, you meet with people, you do some awesome stuff, and then at an event, you sit there and you're like, okay, so let me rewatch this video, let me take some notes, let me really figure this out. Then you go talk with people about what you're currently going through, and then you recollect at the end of the event, you're like, okay, now I know what I need to do. That's the purpose of this. Repeat throughout your career, even when you get an internship. When you get an internship, you should still be doing all this. Life doesn't end there. It's only starting. All right, guys, I hope you found this very helpful. Please let me know in the comments down below. Let me know if you have questions, concerns, anything I can help you with. I'm here. Shoot me a text, 305-923-8724. Again, 305-923-8724. Have an awesome week. Go kill it. Take these steps. Rewatch this. Take notes. See you guys later.